This is the gripping tale of a Himalayan monk's pursuit to unravel the mysteries of fate and death. Despite years of spiritual discipline and wisdom, a lingering question consumed him. Can fate be defied? Or is death's call inevitable? What followed was a journey through eerie villages, foretold destinies, and an encounter with Yama, the god of death, that answered his question with chilling finality. While traveling to meet his mute and crippled childhood friend in a distant village, the monk crossed paths with a peculiar stranger. Dressed in black with piercing eyes, the man introduced himself as a fellow traveler heading in the same direction. "Let us travel together," said the stranger. Though uneasy about the man's strange aura, the monk agreed. They too arrived at a small village just before dusk. The stranger paused and said, "Wait here. I must deliver a message. I won't take long." As the monk rested, chaos erupted. A man was fatally attacked by a wild animal. The villagers were stricken with panic. Moments later, the stranger returned, composed as ever. "It's time to go," he said, without acknowledging the tragedy. A sense of unease gnawed at the monk, but he stayed silent. The journey continued until they reached another settlement. The stranger suggested taking rest again and disappeared into the village. As the monk waited under a tree, flames suddenly engulfed the village. Homes turned to ashes, and several villagers perished. The stranger returned and, seeing the monk's horrified expression, remarked calmly, "The wheel of fate spins. None can halt its course. Let's move on." This time, the monk demanded, "Who are you, and why do calamities follow in your shadow?" The stranger merely smiled and urged him onward. In the next village, by a roaring river, the stranger left yet again, saying he had urgent work. During his absence, chaos unfolded once more as villagers drowned while crossing the river. When the stranger returned, the monk confronted him. "Enough. Reveal your true identity. What wickedness follows you?" The stranger chuckled darkly and replied, "I thought a wise monk like you might already know. I am Yama, the god of death. Where a soul's journey ends, I am there to guide it to the beyond." Trembling, the monk asked, "Then why do you travel with me? Is my end near?" Yama replied, "Not yours, but your friend's. His time has come, and fate has willed for you to be with him during his final moments." The monk protested, "If I do not meet him, will his life be spared?" Yama's expression softened. "Fate is unyielding. Whether you meet him or not, his soul is destined to depart." Terrified yet defiant, the monk stopped to rest. When he looked back, he found the lifeless body of his friend. Yama then explained, "Your friend had been following you from the last village. Despite being handicapped, he put all his energy into reaching you. Sadly, due to his old age, he suffered a fatal heart attack. His determination to reach you, knowing his limitations, was the cause of his death. Therefore, his passing indirectly rests upon your actions." Devastated, the monk asked, "When will my time come?" Yama replied, 6 months from today, you will meet your end through execution in a distant kingdom. Accept your fate, for it is already written and cannot be altered." With those words, Yama vanished, leaving the monk in solemn silence. Grieving yet resolved, the monk carried his friend's body back to their village to perform the final rites and honor his passing. Haunted, the monk returned to his homeland and confided his fears to the king. The king, valuing the monk's wisdom, suggested he stay within the kingdom's walls, safe from harm. A guarded chamber was prepared for him, where he resided in solitude, but as the months passed, dread consumed the monk, unraveling his resolve. On the eve of his foretold death, The monk, unknowingly afflicted with sleepwalking, wandered out of the kingdom under the cover of night. Guided by fate's unseen hand, he entered a neighboring realm and unknowingly trespassed into the royal palace. At dawn, the palace guards captured him. Declared an intruder, he was sentenced to hanging by the king. Before his execution, the monk pleaded, recounting his foretelling by Yama. Though skeptical, the king sent inquiries to verify his story. By the time confirmation arrived, the sentence had been passed, and the king's word was unchangeable. To spare his life, the ministers proposed using a weak rope, hoping it would break. Relieved, the monk approached the gallows with a smile. As the monk was hanged, the rope broke, but not before it cut through his windpipe. Struggling to breathe and bleeding heavily, the monk succumbed to death. The monk's journey taught him, and all who hear his tale, an undeniable truth. Fate cannot be altered, even by the wise and the devout. Instead of fearing the inevitable, one should embrace life and its fleeting moments with grace, and one can change what destiny has written. But it is in our hands to fill the time given to us with right deeds. This is the biggest truth of life. If you liked this story, like and share it. And subscribe to our channel to hear more such stories.